Hello, welcome to your hour Mat Pilates. If we've never met before, I'm Dom. It is such a pleasure to be here with you today. I'm apologizing for some shadows you might see, but we're going to have a great time together. If you are on Instagram and you would maybe like a more HD quality of sound and of visuals, you can head over to YouTube. It's Dominique Cheshire Movement, and we can crack on and meet there. If you would like to use any props today, a blanket is a really great option. You might not need it necessarily, but I am going to be showing some movement that we will be using this. So feel free to grab one. I would like us to start down on our backs today, and then we're going to work our way up. So we're going to be doing a little bit of standing, a little bit of matting, lots of moving our bodies, feeling really good. So whenever you're ready, let's make our way. I'm going to go this way. I was going to swing around, but I changed my mind. We're going to lie down on our backs, placing our feet on the floor. Hip bones and pubic bone are nice and level. And we're going to take a breath in through the nose. And exhale, side out, big sigh out through your mouth. Let's do that again. Inhaling in through the nose. Exhale, big sigh out through your mouth. Feeling those feet plant, getting nice and rooted. Your arms can come down beside you. We want to think about those feet pressing completely down into the floor as if you were leaving a little footprint. And without using your glutes, you're going to take an inhale. And as you exhale through your mouth, like you're blowing a candle away from you. Inhale through your nose into the backs and sides of the ribcage. Exhale, blowing out through your mouth like you're blowing something away. And as you do that breath out, it's pubic bone to coccyx, the connection here. So we want to think about the pelvic floor as you breathe out, drawing up. At the same time as pelvic floor draws up on that exhale, your rib cage is drawing down and your belly is opening wide. So it's not just a breath out. There's lots of layers to it, yeah? Let's try that again, inhaling through the nose. There's a little ladybug house space at your low back. Exhaling it out through your mouth. All right, we're going to move. Inhaling to be here. As you breathe out, can you start to scoop that low belly back towards the floor behind you? Then fire your glutes, lift your hips up one vertebrae at a time. At the top, take that breath in, nice and shallow, nice into the ribs. And then exhale, can you peel yourself to the floor one vertebrae at a time? So we're starting with a bit of a spine massage, yes? Inhaling to keep the hip bones, pubic bone level. As you breathe out, without using glutes, think about scooping your hips towards the back of the floor. Then fire your bum cheeks as you lift your hips up and out. And we're trying to drag our spine forward in space, yeah? Take a breath in there. And then as you breathe out, as you roll down, keep trying to drag your spine forward. We're trying to elongate our vertebrae here, giving ourselves a nice fascial stretch. Inhaling at the bottom as you breathe out, scooping through that belly, yeah? So there's a moment there where it's just core and then lifting. I'm going to be really focusing today on how we get into that bit of a scoop because we're going to be taking it to seated, doing a half roll back from upright, breathing in, and then as we breathe out, scoop and rolling down, which teaching this in this capacity, I haven't done before because I know sometimes it can be irritating. Breathe in at the bottom, exhale to roll up. And I want to make sure that we're well equipped with options if it doesn't work, and that we're well equipped with information so that hopefully it does work. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, rolling down, pulling your spine forward, allowing that low back to find the floor, and then releasing into your neutral. Two more. So neutral is that hip bone, pubic bone alignment. And then as you breathe out, as you scoop through your low back, so not pressing the low back, we're rolling through the low back. Then the glutes ignite. Hamstrings are supporting you here as you lengthen up and away. Taking a breath in, and then breathing out, scoop, tuck, roll your way all the way down. I also have a really exciting quad experience for us. When you're ready, breathe it up. So let's all be thrilled to bits about that. Okay, at the top here, so we're still pressing down through the full foot. We're hugging heels to glutes, we're reaching thighs out and forward, and we're thinking about that bit of a scoop through our pelvis. Now, can you hold onto your hip bones for me and make sure that they're completely level across the top of your pelvis? Can you also check in with your thighs and make sure they're not opening away and that they're hugging in? And if being up like this does not feel fantastic for your pelvis, you can drop and lower down. Just keep your bum hovered off of the floor. You can do this same isolation. It'll just be more about the pelvis than the hamstrings. So lifting ourselves up here, let's keep our arms down. Can you feel a little bit of a hug of those inner thighs as well as working the backs of the legs? You're going to inhale and tip your right hip down to the right. And it's like you're trying to turn itself on itself instead of dropping to the floor. Going only as far as you can without the thighs moving. And then that glute comes back up so you're back at center. Inhale to take the rotation the other way, making sure the thighs don't move. And then exhale back to center. Inhale, right hip twist down. Fire through the right foot, the right glute lift. Left hip twizzles towards the ground. Push through the foot, the glute, the hamstring lift. So we're going to do our little twisty-roos here. Now, I like working with this because it's a great way to isolate the pelvis, which is going to start to fire up through your psoas, which is around your low back, as well as into your glutes, as well as into your hamstrings. If you'd like to take those arms up, you can. You can squeeze those arms nice and tight. Twist and lift. And every time we come back to center, can we imagine like we're climbing stairs? So every time we get back to that next step at the top, we're one little bit higher. Rotate, glute squeeze, lift. Rotate, glute squeeze, lift. One more time to the right. Bring it up. One more time to the left. Hold it here. Take a breath in. Hold it here. Push your feet to the floor. Hold it here, take a breath in, and then gently, one vertebrae at a time, scoop and roll yourself all the way back to neutral. Give your legs, give your hips a little bit of a shake. Take a breath in here. Exhale, sigh it out. Nice job. Let's plant back into our neutral pelvis. So again, neutral, hip bones, pubic bone are level. Let's start with those hands on the floor. Let's come back to that breath. Inhale through the nose, backs and sides of the ribs. Exhale it out through the mouth. Drawing the rib cage down, drawing that pelvic floor up wide across the belly. Take your breath in, and as you breathe out, you're just going to push your feet down and lift your hips a little bit off the floor. Lower them down, and then push through the floor and lift your hips up. So this time it's different, right? It's a little bit of more of a hinge sensation and activation instead of rolling. So now we take this shape and we're just hovering it up off the floor. And if it's feeling fine on your back, we're going to maybe lift a little bit higher and then tap the floor and then lift a bit higher and then tap the floor and then lift a bit higher, tap the floor higher. Can we make the next one our highest? Hold it at the top. Take your breath in through your nose. Take your breath out through your mouth. Blow that candle away. Maybe your arms are reaching up to the ceiling. Plant that whole foot into the floor. Find your inner thigh alignment. Really hug those heels in. We're going to go back to that rotated pelvis. So left side leads the way. Fire the glute to lift it up. Right side leads the way. Fire the glute to lift it up. So I wanted us to have that experience of the scooping versus the lifting, right? So we have a variation in what we're feeling here. Right hip lowers and then lift. Left hip lowers and then lift. Little bit of that isolation. Maybe you have more range now. Keep pressing through the feet, and remember the thighs are not allowed to move. So imagine there's a little hug of something there. We're drawing in through those inner thighs. Left hip and then up, right hip and then up. Hold it at the top here. Can you imagine you have a ball between your thighs? You're going to give little pulses in towards center for 8, 7, but don't let your thighs actually touch. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, roll your lovely selves all the way down. Nice job. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. Nice breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Let's just take a gentle twist here and let those legs melt over to the right. So at any time as we're working together, if there's anything that doesn't feel great in your body, I'm going to do my best to whip out mods as quickly as I can. But of course, I'm only one body. So doing my best there for you for sure. Take one more breath in here. And then as you breathe out, bring those legs all the way back up. Let's take the twist to the other side. That being said, it's your practice. This really is just me being here as a guide with lots of exciting things happening for us today. And so you're welcome to pick and choose as you please. And if there's something that I'm offering that's just not working for you, and you know there's something else you'd love to do, please feel free to freestyle it out. Take a breath in. Take your breath out. Bring yourself all the way back to center. Okay, last little bit of business here. Well, I shouldn't say that. We have like a whole class worth of business to do here. The last little bit of business as far as this bridge goes. So hands are going to come down beside you for now. Feel those feet planted into the floor. Really push your footprint into the floor and then hug the heels towards your glutes. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to roll again. So low pelvis scoops towards the back, and then the glutes fire, and then you lift up. Can you keep those feet rooted, and right out of the gate, feel the work of the back of the leg here. Middle of the thigh reaching forward. Abs are so on. Yeah, rib cage is drawing down, pelvis is scooping. If you're feeling really spice-orama, take those arms up and give them a squeeze. Can we press the right foot into the floor tons, and then roll up to the toes of our left foot? Now notice if your pelvis has squished at all, can we make sure, or shifted at all, make sure that it's nice and level. And then if it feels reasonable, you're going to lift that left leg up to a tabletop. Now if both arms up is not feeling good, lower your left hand down to help you. We're going to take that right arm, we're going to reach the right arm back, but don't let the ribs flare, and then bring the right arm in, and can you squeeze left thigh and hand towards each other, but keep the right leg up. Inhale, maybe you reach the leg with the arm, and then exhale, bring it in, squeeze. So you can move just the arm, bring it in and squeeze, or reach the arm and the leg. Bring it in, squeeze. Now your rule here, keep going, is that your hips are not allowed to move. So especially as that thigh comes in, can you keep the left hip level with the right? Easier said than done. We're going for 2. Keep pressing through that right foot. One more time. My right bum cheek is on fire, fire, fire. Reach the leg and the arm to center. Roll the left foot down. Bring your right arm either up, wherever you are. Find a home base here that works for you. If you need to take a little break for your back, inhale to lower your bum to tap the floor. And then exhale to lift up. You could also hold there the whole time. So keep scooping. Keep drawing the ribs in. Keep pressing feet flat. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Roll up to those right toes. Now, if it feels reasonable in your pelvis, if those hip bones can stay level, can you bring your right leg up to a tabletop? Woo! Fire, fire, fire. Maybe it feels reasonable for both of your arms to be up. If that's not true, right, if the pelvis can't stay stable, bring the right arm down. You're going to take the left arm and reach it, not to the floor behind you, but just back, and then squeeze hand and thigh towards each other. Maybe the right leg reaches away, and then they squeeze back in. Now again, my pelvis was doing all kinds of funky things. So make sure that your hip bones are staying really nice and level, which is, again, way easier said than done. And it does require some low ab strength here to keep them level. Exhale. Right side pelvis really wants to wiggle away here. Let's go for 2. Press. And maybe you're just moving the arm. That's fine. Press it in. Take everything to your home base. Lower those right toes down. Maybe both arms are up. Maybe hands are down. We're going to do some little pulses up with that pelvis. Lift up for 10. Release and lift 9. Release and lift 8. Ribs are in 7. Push your feet through the floor 6. Keep that pelvis level 5. We've got it here 4. You can do it 3. Nice job for 2. Last 1. Hold it here. Can you squeeze everything? Your arms, your feet, your glutes. Hug your heels in. Reach your thighs out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll all the way down. Nice job, team. Give your thighs a little rock side to side. Firing up those back legs. And then if you'd like to roll all the way over to one side, bring yourself up. We're going to do a little bit of shoulder stability work here to get really nice and juicy into those shoulders. And then we're going to keep cracking on, going up until we come to standing. I have a super fun quad experience for us today. I'm really thrilled to share it with you. So what a party we are having. Hands are going to come all the way down. We're going to work a little bit on mobilizing through the upper part of the body first, and then we're going to add into some of the strength work. So can you set your hands up so they're ever so slightly, just teeny tiny little rotation in, little teeny tiny rotation here. Mostly because I want us to find a full range, and that's going to be easier to achieve in this arrangement. Now your knees can come right underneath your hips, or if you're already feeling like you're kind of ready to rock and roll, you're going to take a kneeling plank. Please don't go up to a full plank because the work here is going to be for the shoulders. Finding the glutes, reaching long through the spine, taking a breath in to be here, and taking a breath out to just really dig your toes. She says bouncing them. Really dig your toes into the floor. It's going to add a little layer here. Can we keep our arms relatively straight? So not hyperextending, just a little baby bit of a bend. And you're going to let your chest drop through your hands. So I'm trying to sort of squish my spine with my shoulder blades behind me. And then as I breathe out, I'm going to push away. Now, I'm not going to scoop and arch like I would in a cat. I'm going to think about my sternum hugging in. So I'm like pushing the floor away a little extra so I find some rounding, but I'm not puffing, if that makes sense. Inhaling to let my chest drop through. My shoulder blades are going to squeeze each other. And then exhale to really try to open, trying to draw the sternum in. Remember, your toes are digging down, your knees are hugging in, and your rib cage is drawing down. So it's a moment where you get quite a lot of ab recruitment. Inhale to drop your chest through the hands. Exhaling to push and draw that sternum in. 2 more. Inhale to draw down. Exhale to push. 1 more time like this, and then we're going to add the arms. As you inhale, as your chest drops through, can you think about externally, spiraling those arms, like your armpits are trying to come in and around. And then as you draw your sternum in, can we go the other way? Like your armpits, did you hear that little shake, shake, shake? Your armpits are trying to flare out and away as you hug your sternum in, and there's a little tiny bit of rounding here. Inhale as your chest draws through your hands. We're thinking about rotating through those arms. So you're trying to sort of scoop your underarms in and around and through the front opening of your body. Like they're trying to follow your chest forward. And then exhaling, using glutes, drawing that sternum in. We're rotating the other way like they're trying to come out and around behind you. 1 more time. This does not look like much, but let me tell you, if you really dig those toes in and hug those knees in, it gets shaky, shaky. 1 more time. Drawing the chest through, the arms come through. We're trying to keep the elbows straight. Exhaling to round. And then first plank of the day, let's come down onto our forearms. If staying down on your knees feels reasonable, you're welcome to stay there. If lifting your thighs feels reasonable, feel free to stay there. I'm going to drop my knees down so I can keep talking to you. Can we lengthen out through our spines? And can we find that hint of sternum drawing in so we can really push the floor away? Dig your toes into the floor, hug your knees in, hug your elbows down towards center, wide across belly, glutes are on here for 5. Press your fingertips down. 4, for 3, for 2, last 1. Walk it back. If taking a shell stretch feels good, feel free to sit it back. That was a lot of work. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Working on some shoulder mobility and stability and strength building there, which is always good. Let's take a little walk with the right hands over to the right, just getting a bit of the stretch through the left side of the body. Breathing it in here. Letting that breath go. And then through the left. Not staying for too long, but just giving our shoulders a second to chill out before we move into round 2. Round 2 is going to be a little bit different. So again, finding that relationship of knees down to the floor. We want to take a moment to sort of recalibrate into that shoulder work we did. So let's let our chest drop through. Remember, your toes are digging into the floor. Hug your knees in. Feel like you're spiraling your armpits out and away from you. And then as you exhale, there we go. Now they're spiraling out and away. Sternum draws in. And then find, you're essentially trying to keep the squeeze of the glutes, try to keep the ribs in, but then your upper body peels forward. Like you're just trying to look forward a little bit. Now, if you're feeling nice and stable here and lifting your thighs into your full plank is going to be part of your practice today, feel free to go there. I'm going to drop my knees so I can keep talking. Dig the toes into the floor. Dig them, dig them. Hug your knees in towards center. Press the arms away. Keep all of that work we just created. Hug the heels of the hands down towards you. And I'm hoping, I don't know if you can hear the shake in my voice, but I'm hoping you can feel how much work that already is. Remember, your glutes are on. Now from here, we're going to super push both arms. Super push both arms into the floor. Get extra pushy on the left arm. And can you take your right hand without moving your hips and hold right hand to left shoulder for 2, for 1, bring it down. I'm going to give you a Mat in a second if this doesn't work. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, left hand to right arm for 3, for 2, for 1, lower down. Keep going if that feels good for you. If this doesn't feel good for you, you're welcome to come onto forearms, and you're just going to practice lifting a forearm and then putting it down, and then lifting a forearm and putting it down. But the whole time you're pushing the floor away, yeah? If neither of those work for you and you would like to just hold a plank at center, please feel free. You're still moving though, yeah? Toes are pressing down, hugging legs towards center. Push the floor away, hugging heels of hands towards center. Let's do right hand to left shoulder. Hold it there for 2, for 1. Place it down. Take a breath in. Super push with the right arm. Draw left hand to right shoulder for 2, for 1. Bring it down. If you'd like to take a victory plank, thighs can come off the floor. You can come onto forearms. We're here for 10, for 9, for 8. Hug the legs in. 7. Hug the elbows in. 6. Lengthen through the spine. 5. Glutes are on. 4. For 3. Are you shaking? I'm shaking. For 2. Last 1. Bring it back. Ooh, you're welcome to take again a shell stretch or a child's pose if that feels good for you. If you need to flip onto your back, feel free to do so. Calming that breath down. Breathing it in, breathing it out. Let's round that off with a little bit of side planking, because why not? Since we're here, we can work on that stuff a little bit more. So traditionally, I feel like when we hear plank, we're like abs, obliques, 100% true, but it's also a great opportunity to work on shoulder stability. So bringing ourselves down, plant your hand on the floor. You're going to super push the floor away and just collect your low ribs with you. Maybe your hand comes to your hip, maybe it comes up, I really don't mind. Before we lift anything, we're just gonna slouch into the opposite direction of that pushing away. So sort of like beach vacation 2020. And then push yourself up and away. And as you do that, roll the shoulder blade onto the back, widen the collarbones and zip into the side abs or your obliques. Draw down, let yourself chill out for a hot second. And then as you breathe out, bring your shoulder blade onto the back, super push the floor away, like just as much as you just practiced. One more time, let it draw down, chill out, beach vacay. And then exhale, push it away. Zip into those ribs, connect to your belly, connect to your glutes. When you're ready, maybe lifting up through those hips. Maybe you already feel stable enough to lift up into a full side plank or like 1 foot. If you're 1-footing it, you can go on that big toe edge, or you can experiment with that full foot trying to find the floor. Hug everything into center. And as much as, yes, this is for sure core glutes, let's keep pushing the floor away. Gaze can be up, forward, or down. I suggest if you have sort of a tingly neck like I do, you look down to the floor. Keep pushing, keep lifting for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, last 1. Bring it down. Let's right away flip over to that second side. So coming down onto, I'm on my right forearm this time. Let's really think about that whole palm pressing down to the floor. And we're going to really think about pushing. And as we push, we bring that shoulder onto the back. Keep drawing the ribs in. Already my shoulder is like, oh my gosh, so much work. Let's go the opposite way to feel what that feels like. So hanging out, beach vacation 2020 on this side. And then from behind your shoulder, from deep in the center of your body, push that floor away and check in with where your shoulder's going, right? I don't want it snuggled up to our earlobes. That would sort of not be nice for through our necks. Inhaling to drop it down. Exhaling, push up and away. We have 1 more. Relax into beach vacation vibes. And then push that floor away. Pause. making sure that shoulder is stable. Push your hands into the floor, hug your forearm in, fire through your glutes, lift your hips up. Your arm can be up, your gaze can be forward, it can be down to the floor. Lift, 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 fire through those glutes. Maybe you have a leg straight here. We're pushing and we're holding. Maybe you have two legs straight. Whatever's gonna serve you best. We're here for 5. Keep pushing the floor. 4. Keep firing through those glutes for 3. You've got it here, team, for 2. Last one, bring it down. Nice job. Give yourself a little shaky shake. All right, we're gonna make our way up and then we're gonna make our way down. You are gonna need your blanket for round 1. So you could also fold your mat up if you want to. Really, it's just here to give us a little bit of cushion for our knee joints so that we don't have to worry about them feeling a bit crunchy on the floor. Setting ourselves up sideways, we've definitely been here before together, so I just want to review this guy before we take it higher. We're going to pause with our knees right underneath our hips, and we're going to think a lot about that scoop. So it's not just happening from the glutes, it's also happening because we're collecting our low abs here. So collecting our low abs and feeling like that bum's tucking underneath us. Watching that the ribs don't flare out, they're drawing in as well. Now we're going to take our hands and crisscross applesauce them over the top of our chests. So even though I'm trying to really super scoop through my pelvis, I'm quite tall in my spine. I'm trying to lift up and out of myself. Same energy as when we were rolling down. Okay, toes can be tucked or untucked, it's up to you. Inhaling to be nice and tall. Now keep your pubic bone pointing forward as you lean back. Take a hot second, feel how exciting and thrilling that gets in our quads, and then can you use your glute and hamstring to bring yourself back up, which I know you know where it is because we totally already worked them. Inhaling to be here. Keep connecting through the abs as you exhale. Take the lean back in space. Now notice I'm not curling in tons. Notice I'm not opening out. I'm staying nice and long. Take a breath in. Feel the excitement from glutes and hamstrings. Pull yourself up. 2 more here, please, team. Breathe in. Really gets the heart rate going. Take it back. Inhaling here, feel the heat and fire, and then pull yourself. Use the back of your body. We don't have to worry about the quads. They're going to work anyway. 1 more time. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, hinge it back. Feel the fire. Enjoy the fire. Fire up even more to pull yourself up. Take a little break. Nice breaths in, nice breaths out. Now, if that is the happiest place for you to be, happy being you're working hard, but everything is feeling pretty hunky-dory, you stay there. If you would like to spice up your life a little bit, Spice Girls for you, we're going to come up to standing. Now, I will let you know we are going to be coming up on a high half toe here, which like a demi point. So if your foot doesn't love being in that arrangement, being down on your knees is going to be a nicer option for you. Really gets the heart rate going, eh? Okay, so feet are planted here. We're going to step back with the right foot first. Now, full disclosure, I totally stole this from my movement coach, and I did it yesterday, and let me tell you, I'm feeling the feels today. First thing is first, though, we worked really hard at the beginning to align the pelvis. So can we take a hot second to make sure that that's happening? We have a nice stance here through the legs. Don't make it too big. If you make it too big, you're going to be like, Dom, this is impossible, which, I mean, it might feel like anyway. We're going to crisscross applesauce those arms again. Now, let's just practice just like a low lunge where you sort of tap your knee and come up. Exciting business for sure, but we've been here lots. So we're going to add a knee tap with a lean. We're going to move super slowly. I'll do this first one so you can see what we're going to do. Keeping those hips nice and level. As you bend down, you're going to lean back, and your back quad, your back bum, hamstring are going to be like, well, this is exciting. Little baby pause, and then really the back leg is going to do the work to push us back up. We're doing 5 on this side, okay? I'm going to do it with you. We're totally all in this together. I promise it's hot and spicy. So squaring off through your hips, you can look at them, find out where they are. Think about scooping through your pelvis. This is also going to be a huge stretch through the front of the quad. As you super slowly start to bend into that knee, can you lean your upper body back? And as you do so, keep scooping through your pelvis. Get as low as you can. Take a quick pause. Now fire up through that back bum and hamstring. Pull ourselves up. That's 1. As you lower, you lean and you scoop. So it's kind of like you're doing a bit of a matrix here Take a pause and then fire up through that back quad, glute, hamstring. Whew, that's 2. If you think it's spicy, try doing it and talking. It's like extra spicy. Push and bring yourself up. That's 3. Definitely still using abs here, right? The upper body is sort of in a plank type of a shape with that scoopy extra scoopy pelvis. That's 4. We have 1 more here. Really think back leg pushes to bring you up. 5. Give your leg a little shake. If you were 2-legging it on the floor, amazing business. Bring yourself up. Give yourself a little boogie. And then we're totally doing it other side. So if your low back, again, is not loving this, I mean, it is a pretty extreme shape to take. Feel free to come down onto the 2 knees. Feel free to not hinge as much or lower as much. Play within the range, yeah? So it gets somewhere that feels reasonable. Okay, right away onto that second side. If you were crossing your arms in one particular way, see if you can cross them the other way. Taking a moment to square off through those hips to make sure our hip bones are nice and level. All right, here we go. We're gonna start to bend nice and slowly through that back knee. And as we bend, we're scooping our pelvis. We're leaning it back. Take a quick pause and then fire up through the back leg. Tons to bring you up. We start to lower through that back knee, but as we're, she says falling over. As we're lowering, we're hinging, we're leaning. Fire up through that back thigh, bring yourself up. That's 2. Keep scooping through your belly. Keep lengthening through your spine. It's super hot and fiery. Push yourself up. That's 3. If you make noise while you do it, I promise it kind of might be weird, but it makes it a little more doable. Back leg up and over for 4. 1 more time. You can thank Nikita Currens for this one. That's 5. Bring it up. Give yourself a little, I'll give him a little shout out at the end. Okay, that was like super crazy. Let's come back down. Whew. All the way down onto your mat. Feel free to grab some water if you need it. In fact, I'm going to grab some water. And then let's bring that blanket back, yeah? Okay. If you weren't warm before, I'm sure you're warm now. So, we're going to bring ourselves up to seated. And now if you have a blanket, you're going to take your blanket and you're going to roll it up. It doesn't have to be pretty, but essentially what it's going to do is it's going to act as a little bit, let me scoot back a little bit for you. It's going to just act as a little bit of a guide for your low back so that you can maybe feel like you have a little bit of support there. And you can use cushions, balls, whatever. So I'm just going to pop mine off to the side here. So it's there, but it's not in the way. Now, as best as we can, we're sitting up tall. And that could mean that maybe you realize sitting up tall doesn't feel super comfortable and you want to like maybe stack some things. That's fine. I'm going to get us going and then I'm going to take a pause, but you keep moving to show you some modifications. So hands are coming behind the thighs. They're not super grippy because we've just worked on our shoulder stability, but they're there as just a little bit of support. We're thinking up nice and tall. I'm going to get a little bit more together here with my fabric so that you can really see what's going on. We're going to think about that scoop happening from right at the deepest part of our belly and our low back. So we're going to inhale to be here. And then as we exhale, it's like you're trying to tuck your bum underneath you. Now notice I'm not curling in on myself. I'm trying to make a capital C shape. Take a breath in and then scoop deeper to pull yourself up. Breathe in here. As you breathe out, it's like a big ice cream scoop has come and it's hollowing our belly as we tuck our bums underneath us. My hands are light. They're here as a guide. Breathe in, scoop deeper to sit up tall. Inhale to be here. Exhale, scoop and take it back. Inhale, quick breath in. Then exhale, scoop and pull. I'll do it with you one more time. Breathe in. As you breathe out, scoop and tuck that bum underneath you. Inhale here, exhale up. Now keep going. I'm going to show you modifications while you're moving. First modification is with that blanket. So you're still going. Yeah, I'm going to show these as you move. You can take your blanket behind you. It might be a little bit higher than mine. And then as you breathe, you're sort of just scooping into that blanket space behind you. It's right at the back of my pelvis. I scoop and I come up. Take a breath in. As I breathe out, I'm scooping. I just about feel that blanket at my low back. And then I curl myself up. Keep going. That's one option. Another option, if this is feeling really impossible, is to push your feet against a wall, right? So the toes are mounted, keep moving, and you're doing the same thing. But as you go back, as you scoop, push your feet into the wall. It's going to give you more support for your low back. Scoop and pull yourself up. 2 mods there to help with back pain. If this is feeling relatively reasonable and you want to fire it up a little bit, take your arms away. Breathe in here, scoop it up. You could also let those legs go nice and long. Inhale, breathe in, pull yourself up. 2 more, inhale, like you're scooping your bum underneath you, hollow through your belly, capital C, scoop deeper, pull yourself up. 1 more time, breathe in. As we breathe out, scoop, tap, roll, reach through those legs, breathe in, breathe out, pull yourself up, fold over your legs, take a little break. Breathing it in here, breathing it out. Breathing it in. It's spicy business for sure. Breathe it out. Okay. Round 2. Going to get us going, and then option to add a modification, right? So we're going to stay up. Maybe keep your blanket if you found a nice sweet spot for that blanket or squishy ball. Legs are going to stay bent. Arms can be forward or just resting behind your thighs. Sitting up as tall as you can, breathe in. Scoop through your belly as you breathe out. We're trying to open up the front of the hip here. Now, wherever you are, can you scoop, inhale, exhale, keep breathing. What I want you to notice is that we're not pushing. It's like kind of hard to see, but I'm not pushing my belly forward. I'm actually hollowing it as much as I can. I'm scooping it in, scooping it in, scooping it in, scooping wide, scooping wide, scooping wide, so that the bulk of the effort is happening deep, deep, deep in my abdomen. I'm thinking about lifting up and over myself, which is already a lot of work. Now, again, if you have a back that's like not super impressed with this, press your feet against the wall. I swear it works really, really well. Now, wherever you are, breathe it in. As you breathe out, can you maybe lift your right leg up? Inhale to put it down. Left leg lifts. Inhale, tap. Right leg lifts. So as you're scooping here, we're keeping that pelvis really nice and stable. We're working on some active hip flexion here, right? So know that you will feel hip flexor. Modifications keep going are that you could be at the wall, and so you're just lifting 1 foot and then the other off of the wall. If you're hating this and you're like, no, Dom, I just really want to work into my abs, you can bring yourself up into an ab curl and then work on a march from here or a toe tap, yeah? Lots and lots of options. So again, please feel free to freestyle with whatever's feeling good for you. I'm gonna bring it back to what we all started with. Lifting a leg up, lowering it down. You could always have 2 hands behind a thigh and then lift it up. Lift it up. We're going for 4. 4. Scoop it. 3, like it's happening right from underneath your belly button. For 2. Oh, it's getting spicy. Last 1, trying to keep that upper body still. Bring yourself all the way up, fold over your legs. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. And then bringing ourselves all the way up. Last little bit of business for this because I don't want to exhaust our backs too much. So we know our modifications, right? Your legs can be long. They can be pressed up against a wall. You could be lying on your back, visiting this in a way that you're more familiar with. None of those are anything but amazing. Okay, here's our grand finale. So let's lengthen our legs out now. If you can, you might need to keep a bit of a bend, truly whatever works for you. Inhaling to sit up nice and tall, and then again, we're hollowing our belly, we're scooping, and we're coming back in space. I love a little bit of a blanket reminder to not sink. It just gives me my little bit of housekeeping. We're gonna crisscross those arms over the body again. We're gonna keep the hips level. We're gonna hollow like our life depends on it. Thinking capital C, yeah, not sitting into our low backs. That's how we hurt ourselves. We wanna lift up and out. Can you keep your hips level? Breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're gonna twist around to the right, but keep your left hip heavy. Inhale to come to center. Exhale, twist around to the left. As you do that, keep your right hip heavy. Inhale, center. Exhale to twist. Inhale, center. Exhale to twist. So it's sort of like you're doing like a little figure 8. You kind of scoop down and around, lift yourself back up. Down and around, lift yourself back up. If your legs are long, reach them away from you. It's going to give you that counter to lifting up and over. 1 more time to the right, bring it to center, to the left, bring it to center, fold over. Whew. You know we're doing that again. It wouldn't be grand finale without an epilogue, right? Okay, bringing ourselves back. Same thing, we're just gonna flip our hands. So whichever one you had on top, see if you can remember what it was and flip it. And then again, you could be on your back, just getting into a really nice oblique twist from here. You could add a leg if you'd like, right? We've done lots of these together, so I'm really happy to let you sort of freestyle if you're not loving what's happening right now. That being said, that's your little breakover. Legs long if you can, or with a bend pressed up against a wall wherever you are. Take those arms and cross them the opposite way. I think I was here, to however they were before. Inhale to be up nice and tall. As you breathe out, scoop that pelvis underneath you. Remember, we're radiating out through the legs, hollowing through the low belly, lifting up and over ourselves. We're going to go to the left first. Breathe in. As you breathe out, scoop it down and around. Inhale, center. Paddle your canoe around, which is kind of a funny cue for me to give because I think I haven't paddled a canoe since I was like 12. Exhale to scoop. But this is what I would imagine it would feel like. Lots of core, yeah? Preparing for any summer lake trips you have going on. We're trying to rotate from the whole side of the waist. And even though the waist is moving, the pelvis stays level. Around to the left, around to the right. One more time. Around to the left, around to that right. Pull yourself all the way up. Fold over your legs. Take a nice breath in here, please, through the nose. And exhale to sigh it out. Bring yourself all the way up. And then we're just going to cross your legs. You could actually take your blanket if you'd like to and scoot it underneath your tailbone. And we're just going to melt forward. Just want to counter anything that maybe didn't feel super fabulous there. So knowing that our body is a whole connected system, right? Of tissues, of fascia, of ligaments, of joints, of bones, of organs, all of that stuff. So we can't ever really like super isolate anything. So if you're feeling your low back and stuff, especially in the ab work we just did, knowing that there's this sort of space where it can be okay to feel stuff happening there because you have muscles in your low back, right? And we want to strengthen them in a really positive way. Bring yourself up, flip your legs in the opposite, crisscross, fold it forward. Yeah, we want to make sure that we're working and strength building in a positive way. So it's okay to maybe feel things for a short period of time. But it's also your body, right? So you know what's happening more than I do. I just wanted to give you that little tidbit. Okay, let's bring ourselves all the way up. We're going to bring ourselves all the way down onto our bellies. Kind of a nice change for being up, right? Let's flip it right down. Feels like it could be nap time, but it's definitely not nap time. You're going to take your legs and open them mat distance apart and then turn them out so your knees are looking away from you. You're going to interlace your fingers, please, and let your palms face down on the mat. Now, your foreheads can come down, but my voice gets kind of muffly if I do that, so I'm going to keep my head up, but your head is going to be down. Can you let yourself be really lazy through your legs and your pelvis? And for most of us, your hip bones are going to find the floor. So using the information from that ab scoop we just practiced, can we scoop towards our pubic bone? And as you do that, your glutes are going to fire, your quads are going to fire, and I know you know where those are because we've worked them lots today, reaching out through those legs. Now you're going to keep your weight towards your pubic bone. You're going to keep your head down. Can you bend your knees and flex your feet and squeeze your heels together? So you're making like a little froggy. And then if we were to be really lazy about this, let your pelvis fall to your hips and lift your legs up. So I can get quite high if I let my hips collapse to the floor, right? So try that, give that a try, and then come back. Can we scoop through the belly, draw the ribs in, really feel that pubic bone fight to the floor. Draw your ribs in, let your head be down on your hands. Now this time you're not allowed to scoop your hips to the floor, so you're only gonna lift your legs like an inch, maybe off the floor. And as you lift those legs, squeeze your heels and fight to keep pubic bone connected. Lower it down. It's much smaller, much more feisty, yeah? As you breathe out, draw your belly in. Try to keep your pubic bone down. Dig your heels together as you lift your hips. Sorry, not your hips, your legs up. Definitely don't lift your hips up. Drop it down, but don't relax. Keep the activity. Breathe it in. As you breathe out, lift just that inch. Squeeze the heels. Try to keep your weight to your pubic bone. Breathe it in here. Breathe out to lower the legs, but don't release the tension. 2 more. Inhale. As you breathe out, float it up in space. Tiny movement, but it's a fiery one, let me tell you. Lower down, but don't relax your tension. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep digging in through those heels. Keep fighting for pubic bone as you lift those legs. Take a breath in. Gently lower them down. One more time. Remember, your head is resting on your hands. I just need to keep mine up so you can hear me. Hold it here. Find somewhere reasonable to keep squeezing the heels, opening the thighs, drawing the ribs in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Can you maybe lift higher but still keep pubic bone? 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Take a little break. That is a small but mighty movement, my friends. Let's keep our legs opened out because we are going to revisit that, but we're going to move to the upper body for a second. So I'm going to scooch towards you just a little bit so I have more room for my hands. So our legs are reaching back out where they came from, but don't release the tension, right? We just worked so hard to build a nice strength and stability moment here. Finding your work towards your pubic bone again and drawing the ribs in. Can we give our fingers a little tug as they're interlaced and notice if your shoulders hug up to your ears? Give your fingers a little tug and bring your shoulder blades onto your back, just like we practiced on hands and knees. Keep the legs active, keep the shoulder blades on the back, and as you breathe out, it's like there's little puppet strings in between your shoulder blades that float you up off of the floor. Take a quick breath in, and then exhale, lower it down. Don't release the tension. Keep the tension, breathe in. As you breathe out, reach out and away. Little baby hover, and then as you lower down, but don't release the tension. Breathe in. As you breathe out, low belly draws in. Inhale. Exhale to lower down. 3 more. So sometimes I do this where we completely relax at the bottom. I love that option. Today we're just playing with not completely relaxing at the bottom. Inhale. And every time you lift, can you get a little bit higher? Breathe in. Gently lower down, but don't release the tension. One more time, breathe in. As you breathe out, float your upper body up. Hold it here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Big breath in. Big breath out. Okay, we're going back to our legs. So we're in that same arrangement still. Your head is down towards the mat. Your legs are reaching. They're externally rotated. You're going to really find that pubic bone. You're going to flex your feet, bend your knees, and hug your heels together. So really give those heels a good squishy squish. And we want to think about heading towards pubic bone. Belly ribs are drawn in. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, now your head is down, my head is staying up so you can hear me. You're going to lift the legs to hover, but remember they only go an inch, so it doesn't look like much, but Goddess have mercy, is it ever fiery? Breathe in and lower down. Now this is one where you get out as much as you put in, so the more you squeeze the heels together and the more you fight to stay towards pubic bone, the more exciting it's going to be through your glutes and hamstrings. 4 more, breathe in. As you breathe out, connect through that belly. Fire through the backs of the legs, lift to hover, hold it there for a hot baby second, and then lower it down. Inhale, we have 2 more. Keep digging in the heels, firing through the glutes, just an inch so that we do not tip towards our hip bones. Breathe in, it's exciting, then lower it down. 1 more time. Now, please don't dig into your pubic bone so much that it starts to hurt against the floor. Like, don't be a martyr, it's okay. Hold it here. We're gonna do tiny little pulses of the thighs up. 10. They're not really going to go anywhere. 9, 8. It's just more energetic. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold them in their hover, and then imagine you have bands around your thighs. You're going to do a little butterfly pulse out for 10, for 9, for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4. I know it doesn't look like very much. 3, but I'm on fire. 2, last 1. Now keep the tension, open the legs out so they're working super nice and hard. I'm going to shimmy over so I just have a little bit more room. This time your hands are going to come down beside your hips. Roll your shoulder blades on your back. Keep all the work you were drawing in your legs. As your shoulder blades roll onto your back, lift up into that bit of extension and keep your arms out beside you. Can we fire our arms into fists? Squeeze through those triceps. You're going to take your arms and gently open them out to the side, reaching through both of your arms. Don't mind my little chicken wing on the left side. You're gonna rotate your arm internally, like you're turning a key, and then externally, like you're turning a key. You're gonna go with both hands. I'm gonna leave my left shoulder down. Rotate, rotate. So it's like you're turning a key in a keyhole here. Rotate. You're keeping the full activity of your legs. You're reaching through the crown of your head. So we're working hugely into our back extensors here. Rotate. We're going for 5. Now it can be a nice small range for 4, whatever feels like it works in your body. For 3, let's go for 2. Last one. Lower down. You're giving the floor a hug. Nice breath in here. Breathe it out. All right. Grand finale here. Arms come back down beside you. Now your legs at this point, if you're feeling really supported in your back, you can bring your legs parallel. So your toes pressed down. You could also bring them squeezing together if you're feeling like really, really supported in your pelvis. And by supported, I mean you're not falling into your hips. Find the work towards the pubic bone, zip up the thighs, press your toes into the floor, glutes and quads are on. Let's roll the shoulder blades onto the back, reach through those arms, fire up through your arms here. Now we're gonna take the arms and we're gonna fully bring the shoulder blades onto our backs so that our palms are facing the floor. So your palm is facing the floor, but can we turn those arms into fists so that we have lots of energy, but know that your palms are facing down. As you inhale, open those arms out to a T, and then maybe all the way up into a YMCA. As you bring the arms down, keep the palm facing down to the floor. Now you're gonna try to over squeeze the arms behind you, but they can't go because to go fully, they'd have to rotate, and we don't want them to rotate. Open those arms out beside you. They reach up like the YMCA. As you breathe out, squeeze and draw the arms onto your back. Pinky fingers are trying to hug together. Palm faces the floor the whole stinking time you're moving here. Squeeze and draw it back. 2 more, please. Reach it up and overhead. Exhale. Hug them in. Up and overhead YMCA. Taking your time. Bring those arms in. One more time. Keep firing up through those legs. Bring your hands down to your hips and then hold them. Your palms are still facing down. Can you reach out through the heel of your hand so you're extending out through that wrist? You're going to bend through your elbows, but feel like your elbows are squeezing towards each other, and then reach out through the heel of your hand. Little baby bend, and then exhale, reach. Little baby bend, and then exhale, reach. So much tricep here. A little bit of bend. Exhale, reach and squeeze. You got it. Let's go for 4. Keep working through those arms. Let's go for 3. Shoulder blades are on our back. Toe mounts pressing down. Legs active for 2. Exhale to reach and squeeze. One more time. Reach it and then hold. Keep reaching out through the heel of your hands. Shoulder blades are on your back. Grand finale. Let's pulse it up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and squeeze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Take a big breath in. Breathe it out. Let's press into our hands. Let's bring ourselves all the way up and take a bit of a stretch back. Breathing it in. Exhaling out. Let's bring ourselves all the way upright. No, I changed my mind. Let's flip onto our backs. I was up and then I'm like, let's go down. So taking a second as we are here, maybe give your legs a little windshield wiper across the floor. Let your body sort of ripple with this movement. And then pausing at center here. We're going to take our right leg and reach our right leg all the way up. Give it a little shake it, shake it, shake it. And then you're going to take that right leg and squeeze it all the way over the left. So instead of a figure 4 type of shape, you're actually trying to really hug those thighs in. Arms can be out beside you, and then we're going to lift the leg up or keep the left foot on the floor. But we're taking a twist over to the left, yeah? So we're trying to keep those thighs squeezing as much as we can. Your left hand could come to the thigh if you want. Right arm is reaching out and away. Now, I really don't want us to tug on this because we've done a lot of strengthening work through our backs today, but I do want to leave you with a little bit of releasing. So if this is too intense, you could always stack them, yeah? You don't have to keep them around. Taking a breath in here, taking your breath out. One more time, breathing in, breathing it out. And then revisiting center here. Take that leg, give that leg a little shaky shake, and then now take that right ankle, cross it over the left knee, and just give yourself a little teeter-totter out through that glute. I'm not going to bring this into a figure four shape today. You are welcome to if you want to. But I'm really enjoying working with the resistance and working with a little bit of movement here. Again, not forcing anything, just allowing it to unravel in its own sweet time. Bring yourself back up to center. Give that right leg a little shakeroo. And then bring it down. Left leg is going to reach up towards the ceiling. Please give it a shake, 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 shake. And then take that left thigh and squeeze it over the right. We're trying to really compress them. And then when you're ready, that whole shape can take a little teeter-totter over to the right. Your left arm can come up and away, whatever feels good for you. You're welcome to place a gentle hand on that top thigh, but please don't pull anything anywhere. That hand is just as a guide or a support. There's no rule that says this has to be extreme. It's really to just provide a little bit of like loving, it's okay, I got you-ness to your back. Because again, we did work quite intensively through that space. Taking a breath in here, taking your breath out. When you're ready, guide those legs back up to center, unravel this shape, give your leg another little shake, and then that left ankle can come over the right thigh again. Keeping the hips as level as you can, go for that little teeter-totter. Now at that intersection of your ankle and your thigh, you're trying to use that resistance to open the left thigh a little bit more. Giving yourself just a little rock, a little massage across the back of the pelvis. And when you're ready, letting that shape come all the way over to the floor if you'd like, just for a little second. And then bringing it back up. Unravel that leg, give it a little shaky, shake, shake. Grab the back of that left thigh, and maybe it helps to pull you up to center. Maybe you want to roll over, however you want to bring yourself upright. You can sit cross-legged or kneeling, however feels good for you in your body. We're going to inhale that right arm up and then take a side bend over to the left. So you worked so hard today. We worked lots through the whole back chain of the body, right? Especially if we're finding ourselves sitting more. We want to make sure that we're working on those posture muscles to keep us upright. From your side bend, can you start to turn in on yourself so that your chest is fighting to face, well, I don't want to say fighting. Your chest is rotating to face the floor. Both of your hands are down. So lots of hamstring, lots of glute, lots of quad with that super fun matrix activity. Belly scooping loads here. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, walk your hands into a diagonal. And then through center, all the way to the other diagonal, all the way over to the right. So you have two hands on the floor, your chest is rotated. Few breaths here, and then plant the right hand, bring yourself up into a left side bend. You worked through your abs in multiple different ways because we had our planking, we worked our obliques in planks, and then we also worked through our core and our obliques in all that half roll back stuff. Really hard work, which you did fabulously. We worked through the strength of our arms, partially in the shoulder work that we did, and then again in that upper body extensor work. So full body experience as for always. Bring yourself all the way up. As you inhale, take a nice big stretch up in space. Exhale to bring it down. Give yourself a squeeze. As always, thank you so much for being here with me, allowing me to guide your practice. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're joining me on